Welcome, everybody, to the best betting show ever. I'm Lawrence Presman. You want to make money? Stay with us. Stay with us all the way through to the end. Joe Ranieri, Art DeCesar. We're going to use sports as an opportunity to create wealth. Art, how did the books do last night?
That was a good night for the books. Small win, nothing, really major, but we, yesterday and today it feels like slow sports days as far as content and things to bet on. But obviously, as we get later into the week, all the March Madness games, baseball in full swing. So we'll have a lot more going on as we get closer to the weekend.
Big night last night was in hockey, right? It must have been like 9,000 games. Anything of note there? And what is the handle like for hockey this time of year?
I mean, hockey always has their people who bet from day one and they stay through it the whole year. Obviously, hockey is going to be behind a sport like baseball and a sport like NBA and college basketball, but obviously college basketball coming to an end. Once we get into the playoffs, though, the playoffs really start to ramp up. You actually start to offer a lot more to people. Series price betting becomes enormous for people. In-game betting becomes big. Team goes down one goal. A lot of people like to come in on the underdog. Happens a lot once we get to the NHL playoffs.
Art DeCesar, huge NBA slate tonight. Let's get straight into that. A ton of teams. I mean, there's 10 and 11 games going. Any bets we need to know about?
Yeah, just a couple of totals that we took sharp money on. Bulls Sixers over 238, now 240. Hawks Pistons over 226.5, now 228.5. Celtics Thunder is going to take really good two-way action on that game. I'd be surprised if we really need somebody in the game. I think that's going to take really good two-way action. Public seems to be on these two teams. They seem to be on Detroit, and they seem to be on Houston tonight.
Joe?
Yeah, Art, I mean, obviously, I think the big game of the night that focus is going to be OKC and Boston. The problem is that it's not really do or die for either of those two teams. But OKC looks to be healthier now. Boston looks to be healthier. Is this a future NBA Finals matchup we're looking at? I mean, are you starting to see any of that? And we've talked about it. Boston always gets the public love, right? But OKC has been as public as they come now since they won last year. So is that going to be the biggest bet game on the board here tonight?
Yeah, I think it will, just because from, the name brand perspective of the two teams. I'll say this, if the final is Thunder and Celtics, won't be good for us because the Celtics made the finals. Celtics winning the East is not good for us. We feel like we've talked about this for 6 weeks, how the Celtic number kept climbing, and then they became the favorite to come out of the East. So we really want to avoid the Celtics making the finals. Thunder will be fine because that Thunder number is so low. There are other teams in the West that we're worried about, like Denver and San Antonio. So if the chalk comes out of the West, which is OKC, we'll be perfectly fine with that.
Art, we got two college basketball games going today. NIT tournament, Auburn hosting Nevada, Dayton. Well, not hosting, but you know what I mean. Dayton playing Illinois. Any bets there?
Only thing to report, sharp money on the Dayton over, 139 up to 140.5. Even if that goes up further, I expect them to come back and bet the under because they've done this all tournament with the NIT.
All right, let me save all the keyboard warriors the headache here.
Yeah.
Prez, it's Illinois State. Don't say it's Illinois because everyone's going to get confused because isn't Illinois taking on Houston in the Sweet 16? So I just wanted to beat them to the punch, Prez, and say what you meant is Illinois State is taking on Dayton.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. The entire state of Illinois.
Correct.
Speaking of Illinois,
yes.
Looks like money's coming in on them, Art. They're now the line's down to 3. There are 2.5s out there for Houston. Looks like some money is coming in. Nebraska's down to 1.5. Anything we need to know total wise, side wise for tomorrow's group of madness games?
I mean, obviously tomorrow when we're on, I'll obviously break down all 4 games and really give the rundown. I would say from what I reported yesterday, sharp-wise, the only thing that we've seen for us, we've seen Purdue go back up. Purdue opened 7, we got to 8. Then there was some money on Texas. We went back down to 7. Now we're back up to 7.5. I think that game's going to go back up and continue to go back up the way it is. I think Purdue is going to continue to take money, and they're going to take public money as well. And they'll probably be one of the most popular money lines as far as these 8 games go.
Yeah, and let me just say here, Art, do not get caught up with, half-point points here or there at this point in the tournament, in the season. If you think you're still chasing steam, you have no idea what the steam is one way or the other. The handle and the betting public is way more involved here. It feels a lot more like the Super Bowl, Art, where the volume is just so over the top, and chasing a half a point here or there, trying to figure it out. Does somebody know? It's just a waste of time. At this point, tell me who you like to win and bet it that way. And especially with some of these games lined at $1 or less.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I mean, you got to remember, these are the sharpest these lines are going to be.
Yeah.
This is the end of the season. This isn't, November where we're playing in Maui or we're in MSG
Right.
for some preseason tournament. This is the sharpest these numbers are going to be. These power ratings have been pretty much locked in for, a month now. And you're right. It's just kind of for us bookmaking the game, kind of trying to balance our books on the games because we know we're going to see really good action. There are really good matchups, a lot of big time teams in these games. So you just don't want to get slanted one way or the other on a game. You almost just open your line and just, let the business come in and see what happens. Obviously, if an injury happens or whatnot, totals can move a point or two, but pretty much these lines are going to be what their openers are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Art the Caesar joining us, everyone. You're watching the best betting show ever. Hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, stay with us all the way through. We got our parlay of the day coming, the predictive market segment. I nailed Bitcoin again yesterday. And of course, we have our rundowns. But before that, public service announcement. Ready? So yesterday we spoke about must-win games. We are seeing this now in NHL and NBA. And obviously in March Madness, but that's must-win games for both teams, so it doesn't really count. What I want to do is run down the NHL card for you guys really quickly yesterday. So we had Philadelphia Flyers in an absolute must-win spot. Now, I recognize Columbus was in a must-win spot too, but Philadelphia was at home, and their playoffs were on the line. They lost. Seattle went to Florida in an absolute must-win spot. They lost. The New York Islanders fighting for their playoff lives at home against the Chicago Blackhawks in an absolute must-win spot. They lost. Boston holding on for a wild card spot. Their season on the line at home, playing the Toronto Maple Leafs without anybody. Boston lost. Pittsburgh had to win last night. Lost. San Jose lost. Washington playing St. Louis. Playoffs on the line. This Washington team cannot afford to lose games like that. They lost. The Kings on the road taking on the Flames in a crucial game. They lost. Anything you want to add there, Art to Caesar? I get Montreal won. There were a couple that pulled it out, but on a whole.
Yeah.
Wait a
and
minute.
Montreal was down early.
So are you saying that because a team has to win doesn't mean they will, Prez?
That's my public service announcement, Joe Ranieri, because at this time of the year, everybody is taking must-win teams because they must win. And what they don't realize is if you're in a must-win mode, you probably aren't very good to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So don't forget, they get priced that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they don't. It's not crazy, but let's say a team who normally would lay $1.30, maybe now they're laying $1.40. So you're going to lose value on a lot of those teams anyway. I mentioned to you guys yesterday, we're trying to price teams that are way out of it, in that respect, because, if you're playing a team like Calgary or Vancouver or the Rangers or some of these bad teams, and there are teams in these quote-unquote must-win spots, those must-win teams against those really bad teams, it's going to get priced that way.
Yeah. And
Wait
most
a
of them
minute.
won yesterday.
Wait, so
Sorry,
you're
Joe.
telling me, Art, that teams at this point that have to win don't necessarily actually win, and the bookmakers are actually pricing that in as well?
Yeah, sometimes we know what we're doing.
That's just crazy. I mean, this is woo. Public service announcement for sure there. And here's the crazy part. There will be somebody, one or two people watching this going, wait a minute, did he just say that the books take that into consideration and that is the Prez telling me because they have to win? Yes, that's exact. As a matter of fact, Prez, if you would have faded all those teams last night, what kind of night were we looking at? All those teams that had to win last night.
Yeah, you would have won almost every game except one or two.
I think you just said 8-1.
8-1. Gosh. 8-1.
Crazy.
Well, I mean, Nashville played San Jose, so when one lost, one won.
Right.
No
but
doubt.
Even still. It's crazy.
But yeah, it is nuts. Also, real quick, one of our listeners gave me the best compliment ever yesterday in the chat, in the comment section. So guys, I really appreciate. Make sure to comment. We read them all. One of our listeners
he play
says,
Whack-a-Beaver too? Does it? No.
Whack-a-Beaver, baby.
Yes. Yeah.
He said, Snatsy. Snatsy writes, Prez has the humor of an infant. I mean, my humor is unabated, unadulterated, ungrown up. It is creative. It is joyous. It's not restricted by the whims of conditioning.
Good point.
I mean, thank you. Thank you. Warm.
Do infants have a sense of humor yet?
Yeah, dude. All they do is laugh. They laugh. They're happy. They take a shit in their diaper and they find it so funny. I mean, there is nothing you could say better to me than I have the humor of an infant. I am touched.
You've worked hard at that.
Thank you.
You've worked hard.
You're over the moon.
Yeah, over the moon.
Did you?
Okay, our parlay of the day.
I also just want to say, I never knew there was an angry beaver, but apparently there are angry beavers that like to play whack-a-mole. And Prez, from now on, when you pull out one of those gems, I think we're going to give the actual comment of the day. We're going to give him a Whack-a-Beaver award here. Whack-a-Beaver. There he is. The Whack-a-Beaver comment of the day, Prez. I love it.
Okay. Art, parlay of the day. What do you got for us?
I'm going to take the under first 5 in the Giant Yankee game. Give me under 3.5 minus 120.
Woo! I'm going to take over 6 in the Toronto New York Rangers game. Joe? What? What now, Joe?
I was going to go with the baseball, but you know what? I'm going to pass it to Art. That's fine, because I don't know how many more times we're going to be able to get plus money with the Boston Celtics at home. So I will take the 2 points, and I will also be playing that on the money line tonight, Prez, against the overrated Oklahoma City Thunder.
There we go. And that is our parlay of the day. Let's keep the show moving. Predictive markets. I nailed Bitcoin yesterday by $84. So
really? It was that?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Very close. What do we got today, guys?
All right, Prez. Let me hold on here, as I just for some reason it didn't want to go there for me. But hold on, Prez. I'll get it for you. As I do believe. Let's refresh that. Crypto. All right, crypto. 5 o'clock today, Prez. We're hovering at around 70,800 or 900, let's say. So the question is, will it be above 70,900? Will it be over 71,150? or will it be under 70,650 here, Prez? Interesting.
Ooh, I think there's a middle there. I think you go over on the bottom and under on the top. I think it's going to be right inside of that number. So let's middle this one today. We're going under 71.15, over 76.50. 76.50.
So 61 says 66 to the under cents for 71 150, and you want over the 76.50. That's at about 61 cents. So you're true middle. Wow, I'm wondering why that's that feels like a big middle here, Prez. No?
Well, it's only $500, but I just don't think we're going to see a lot of movement, Joe. I think we're going to see Bitcoin hover. So let's go for both.
I love it.
I mean, that's what an infant would do.
Yes. That's exactly it. That's what my angry beaver would do. All right, Art, here we go. I came up one.
Speaking of your angry beaver, Joe.
Yes.
I was just reading an article. Joe Rogan comes out saying that Erica Kirk has male genitalia. What the hell is going on in this world today? Why are we even discussing this nonsense?
When you say I just read an article. Like you need.
Well, it reminded me of your beaver. Get it?
I gave you an angry beaver, and that visual is probably not going anywhere, and I get it. But you got to change what your articles you're reading there. It's bad enough we came up with a murdering professional cornhole player.
And I saw it on the news yesterday.
It was everywhere yesterday. It was everywhere yesterday.
We were ahead of our time.
All right, Art, baseball season here. Here's a great predictive market because you think the answer is simple, but it might not be that simple. You ready? Will there be a no-hitter in Major League Baseball this year? Yes is about 71 cents right now, and the no is at 34 cents. So what makes this so interesting is, do you want to take a guess when the last time we had a no-hitter was, Art?
Well, I know we didn't have one last year.
Nope.
So I'm going to guess maybe 2023. Are we going back that far?
September 2024, I believe, Prez.
Okay.
Is that correct? And it was late.
There was no-hitter last year.
Yep.
With that said, there has been 326 officially recognized no-hitters.
Mm-hmm.
That does equate to roughly 3 a year on average. That was some impressive math there.
Are we due? Is that what you're saying?
I am going with yes. There will be a no-hitter in baseball this year, and it will be pitched by Matt Scherzer. No, I'm kidding. He won't even make. He couldn't pitch 9. He couldn't pitch 9 innings in a week.
I agree. That's impressive that you pulled that out there.
Yes to the no hitter.
Seven. Just to give folks who don't understand here, but the 71 cents equates to, if I bet $100, I'm winning $41. Okay, so that to give you. So
I'm going with a yes. I'm going with a yes.
Here's the thing I love here too, as well, because I think it's going to happen early, because these usually happen April, May, when the hitters aren't caught up, the weather hasn't turned yet, the hitters have not caught up necessarily with the pitchers. It feels like I'm not even worried about tying up the money very long, Prez, because I feel like we can get this done by May the latest.
This is a great bet, Joe. This is a great bet. I'm in ChatGPT right now, and last 2025 there was no hitter. That was last year. Before that was 20 years earlier. There was a no hitter every single year.
Yes.
From 2005 to 2025. Before that was 1989.
Yep.
The gaps are and there's no 2-year period without a no hitter ever in history.
Yep.
I love that bet. I'm picking Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan. Listen, I'd put Bieber, but we know he won't be ready until August anyway. or you Savage or any of those. And Art, are you getting any love there for? Are you starting to see any more of the big push for Major League Baseball future money in the books at all, or is it just died down until everyone gets we get it back up and running here?
Yeah, I mean, you get the stragglers who probably, haven't already, because, I mean, listen, a lot of these numbers have been out for a long time now.
Yes.
I remember telling you guys, we put our win totals out Super Bowl weekend. So, I mean, what are we talking about now? We're talking a full 6 weeks. So, what you see now is the people who come in late, maybe they're looking for middles. Maybe they're looking, hey, we took a lot of money on a certain, like the Pirates, for example. We're like one of the highest out there. We're 80.5 on their win total. There's still 78.5s out there, 77.5s out there. So people either, hey, we're not into the Pirates. We'll go to the Westgate and take the highest number, or people who got in real early on the Pirates, who I think opened as low as like 73.5 in some spots. So they can really find middle. So you start to see that, and you start to see that with the home run props too.
Yes.
People, individual, Tatis, Judge, whoever. How many home runs are they going to hit in a year? So you start to see that as well.
Yes. Which reminds me, do not, please, a public service announcement, Prez. Can we do it?
Public service announcement.
Yes. We'll have to come up with another logo for that, by the way. Do not go over the top with daily home run prop bets, please.
Yeah.
Because if you consider the fact that a guy like Aaron Judge and Ohtani, 500 at bats, Art, in a season, right? 500, maybe 600 at bats. And what are we looking at? 50 home runs?
50, yep.
Yeah, when you break it down, the fact that the books are getting you to only take plus 200 and plus 250 on those guys, you're getting absolutely robbed. If you want to have fun with home run props, find a number 7, 8, or 9 hitter that you like to match up with and jump in on those odds, Prez. Getting
over
plus
7,
250 for a guy that's only going to hit 50 home runs and 600 at bats. The math ain't mathin', guys. It's just not mathin'. It's a rip.
Joe, and I'm going to tell you right now, those guys, Ohtani, Judge, I'm in the mornings. I price all those. There are plenty of times we price those guys under $2.
It's hysterical.
It just is. I mean, and I'm not trying to, sit here and say, we're ahead of the curve. It's just one of those things where you're going to take bets on those people. And if you put 250 out there and they bet it, or you put 180 out there and they bet it and they're still betting it, well, we'll put 180 out there. I mean, it's just the bottom line.
I would rather
people parlay them now.
Yes,
people love to parlay them. That's the big thing. That's the big thing.
No, please.
There you go.
You want to hit the hard. Find the guy, the 6 hitter, the 7 hitter, the 8 hitter that's got some pop, that has a good matchup, and that's going to be 8-1, 9-1. Find those guys.
There we go.
Yep.
Public service announcement number 2. Art, what do you got to promote?
Not much. Listen, obviously tomorrow I think will be a huge show because we'll really get into the baseball with a fuller slate. We'll be talking about the conference or the NCAA tournament game. So tomorrow should be a lot of fun. Can't wait. And happy opening day, boys.
Yes.
Yeah. Opening day today. Art to Caesar, everyone. We got some business to take care of and all of the rundowns. Joe, I got 2 NBA games going tonight, and I got to tell you, man, these are ATS bets. I have had an incredible season in NBA ATS bets. 58% on the year, up 22 units of profit. I'm also on a 21-11 run in these bets. And normally I only have 1 NBA bet a day, but I found 2 spots to step out on tonight. So I got 2 NBA bets. I also have 1 baseball bet as we start the season. And don't forget my 5% with tomorrow. This is a huge play. So that's it. What do you got going?
Prez locked in the NBA here tonight. We got one back last night with Orlando finally covering a game against the Cavs. And we went 2-0 in the NIT last night. So I anticipate one more in the NIT tonight. 1 NBA, and I have a play in the Major League Baseball opening night game between the Yankees and the Giants. But It's on my free page, and I am about to give it to you here when we go through the rundowns, Prez.
College basketball's all yours.
All right, well, you've got a couple of things going on here tonight, and one of them is going to be with Illinois State taking on Dayton, and Dayton finally back at home. Well, in the NIT, this is usually where they are all the time here, but I like Dayton. I like Dayton a lot in this spot, but this is a tough matchup for them here. The market has been going back and forth between the over and the under in this spot. I do think it's pretty close to, Dayton laying 7.5 feels a little too much here. But I also think the total's a little low because I do anticipate, even though they're not in a rush to go anywhere, this Illinois State team, pace is not one of their stronger suits, but they've been very efficient in this tournament, and I think Dayton is poised to have themselves a pretty good one because, listen, Illinois State is going to chuck up a ton of threes, and they are likely going to make their fair share. Why? Because Dayton doesn't defend the perimeter. They never have this year, and they won't in this game. So, I mean, we are going to get some points here one way or the other. So the over is good in that one, and I just can't trust the motivation of Auburn here to win this game by double digits against Steve Alford and Nevada. I think taking the points is probably a good look here with them, Prez, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So give me the points with the dog in Nevada and give me the over in Dayton and Illinois there.
Perfect, Joe.
Illinois State. Sorry, didn't want to get the Illinois State.
Don't mess that up, Joe.
Correct, sorry.
Listen, two NHL games. I'm going to go through both of them, then I'm handing the show to you and getting out of here. The first is Buffalo hosting Boston. And guys, I got no bet on this game. I just, Boston has to win. But they had to win yesterday, and they stunk. I want to play against a team that has to win. But, man, Buffalo, you know what? There's value on Boston. Like, the fact of the matter is, they're plus 180 in a must-win spot off of a horrible game the day before. I don't want to bet them, but there happens to be value on Boston. I am passing today in hockey. I like the over in the Rangers-Toronto game. I think you should look to take the over in every Toronto game moving forward. The team's playing with zero intensity. Amazing win last night. Put up 4 goals against this Boston team. Rangers have nothing to play for either. Nobody's diving in front of shots for either of those two teams. Take over the total in that game, and I guess there's value on Boston. Joe, thanks for doing this with me, brother. You finish up. You got the Giants and the Yankees and all your NBA.
You got it, Prez. Enjoy as usual there. Go get yourself a little whack-a-beaver there today. In the meantime, we've got the Yankees and we've got the Giants to kick off the 2026 Major League Baseball season. I am so looking forward to this game here tonight. I'm looking forward to Major League Baseball. It's one of my favorites certainly to handicap because you got to love the grind. And what better way to start than with 2 number ones going head-to-head early on in the season with Logan Webb and Max Fried. They also happen to be 2 of the best ground ball pitchers in the National League and the American League here. You're dealing with a ballpark that suppresses runs at a extreme clip here. So if you're expecting the offenses to tee off here tonight, I don't think that's going to happen in any way, shape, or form. But I also know in March, April, even beginning of May, your number one pitchers aren't going to go more than 5 innings, and I want nothing to do with bullpens this early in the season. So I love what I've seen from Logan Webb. He had 2 starts in the World Baseball Classic. I think he went, 8 2/3. He struck out 11. He only walked 1. He worked big time in the offseason on improving his cutter, and it has paid off dividends. Paid off in the World Baseball Classic, and let's face it, the Yankees are a lot of things, but I don't anticipate this lineup coming out and putting up some sort of crooked number against him. Art DeCisa mentioned it earlier. He liked it in the parlay of the day at the first 5 under, and I agree with him. I would even look, because the Yankees have a better bullpen. Yankees do have the better lineup. And by the way, half of that lineup for the Giants, not very good against left-handed pitching. So I love the under 3.5 in the first 5. I think this is a 1-0, 2-0 kind of game once the bullpens get involved. So let's start it off with a under 3.5 in the first 5. And then, of course, the NBA with a loaded slate here tonight. And it's going to start with the Hawks and the Pistons, which is likely going to be a playoff matchup at some point here. The Pistons off a game, and that they've been doing good without Cade Cunningham. What can you say? They haven't exactly been playing world beaters, but hey, they've won, 3 of their last 4. You got the Hawks that have won 13 of their last 14. They are red hot. I love the over in this spot here with these two teams. Jalen Johnson looks like he is going to be back on the court for the Hawks. I would anticipate the threes reigning in this game, and I do think this number is a tad too light at 228, 228.5. Welcome back, Paul George, tonight to the Sixers. Embiid looks like he might actually give it a go, but who are we kidding? He'll get scratched late. Sixers laying 6.5. I don't know, but it's also another game where 239.5 is the total. I wouldn't be sweating out an under in that one. The Lakers should handle business and get back on track against the Pacers. The Heat and the Cavs on the second of a back-to-back. Both of these coaches are screaming about their teams not playing any defense. I don't know that changes here tonight, but if Spoelstra cannot get the Heat up for this one, I don't know what to tell you. They're finally healthy. I'll take the 3.5. I told you I'm taking the Celtics at plus money at home. We won't get that very often. The Spurs over the Grizzlies here. I do like the over. 234.5. I'm not stepping in front of that Spurs train. The game of the night, the Wizards and the Jazz. All right, let's move on to the Rockets and Timberwolves here. I like the Timberwolves at home. Don't trust the Rockets. I don't know who the hell the Warriors are laying 12.5 points against the Nets, but I'll take them. The Nuggets should be able to handle business against the Mavericks. I'm also looking at an over in that one. Portland taking on the Bucks, same thing. Don't trust Portland to win by 12.5 points. I'll take the Bucks. And the Raptors at the Clippers. Kawhi is questionable, but everyone else, Mathurin, Collins, all look like they are going to go. A lot of question marks about the Raptors tonight. Who's going, who's not? Is Quigley going? Know who is playing for the Toronto Raptors. Either way, I still like the Clippers to get it done in that one. And there you go, guys. That's your NBA rundown. Huge NBA slate. We welcome back, of course, Major League Baseball here tonight. And we got that NBA 4% top bet up available over at WagerTalk.com. I do have the NIT game that is going up as well. And, of course, I'm already locked and loaded for one of tomorrow's Sweet 16 games. All of that is available over at WagerTalk.com. And that'll do it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you come back, join us again tomorrow. More Art DeCisa. We'll have all the latest and greatest information you need as the Sweet 16 rolls on, as we are that much closer to crowning a national champion. But until then, enjoy the games here tonight, guys. Cash those tickets. We'll see you again tomorrow here on the best betting show ever.